You're listening to the Breakaway Breakdown podcast, where we bring you interviews with some of the top ropers in the country, news about what's going on in the fastest sport on dirt, training tips for you and your horses, and so much more. I'm your host, Casey Allen. Let's jump in.
Hey everybody, it's Casey Allen. All right, today we are switching things up a little bit. We're not talking about who's winning at the pro rodeos, the jackpots, or the futurities. No. I get to talk to you guys today about a program that I am super excited about and super passionate about, and that is something called Women in Rodeo Month. Now, what is Women in Rodeo Month? Thank you for asking. So glad you did. It is a month-long collaboration taking place during September 2023, and it is a collaboration between the Breakaway Roping Journal, calfroping.com, the Team Roping Journal, and barrelracing.com, and a few other brands that are going to be joining in with us. And we pretty much are just letting you guys drink from the fire hose the entire month while we bombard you with content on social media, on our websites, all of our corresponding podcasts, and a few other places we may be popping up. And it's all going to be about the incredible women in the sport of rodeo from the past, from the present, and those who are building the future leaders and the history of tomorrow, really, of the future. So we're not just talking about breakaway ropers that month. We're going to be talking about the women who have busted down barriers in all areas of roping, rough stock, business, barrel racing, goat tying, you name it. We're going to be covering it that month. And there's also going to be a special edition of the Team Roping Journal magazine that's going to come around that's going to have a ton of stories dedicated to women in rodeo. So we're excited to be offering that. This year, it's something we didn't do last year. Our OG fans might remember September of 2022 was also dedicated to Women in Rodeo Month. And that was just a program, honestly, that our team kind of made up. And we found a sponsor to get on board because we were so passionate about bringing all of these brands together and just having fun and just celebrating our industry, celebrating the women who have made it what it is today and made it incredible. Why am I talking about this today? Well, you guys are going to get to hear from Randy Watson. He is the founder of WIR Watson Boots, and I'm going to let him tell you his full story, but it's inspiring. It's super interesting to listen to, and I'm going to tell you guys something about Randy Watson. He is so passionate about helping women in the sport of rodeo. You guys, he got involved with the Breakaway Roping Journal because he asked us the simple question. I want to know why women aren't breakaway roping at the NFR. And our conversation began. So when Mr. Watson heard about Women in Rodeo Month, he knew that he had to get involved, and he is just as excited as we are about this program. So I cannot wait for you guys to get to know him and get to learn about WIR Watson Boots. And it's so nice for us to get perspectives from people in the industry who aren't just competitors, right? I would be doing you guys a disservice if all you heard about were what the winners were saying every week when, they were at their highest. So I think this is going to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective of the industry. And this is actually a conversation that I had with Randy in person at WIR Watson Boots' headquarters just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. So I got to go down there, meet his team, meet him, hear his story. We got to talk about just our love for breakaway roping and our love for the sport in general. And I left the conversation feeling just like we had an ally, and that was so fun for me. So I hope you guys get the same feeling. I hope you guys have a lot of fun listening to this episode. And then afterward, I'm going to talk to you guys about the other companies that are getting involved with Women in Rodeo Month, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview of what you can expect coming up. So make sure to stick around for that. Now, I know I get to talking, and I want to hang out with you guys the whole time, but you probably want to listen to the interview. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so we're just going to kick things off. Mr. Randy, we're sitting here at the WIR Watson warehouse. Tell everybody where we're at and how you ended up in this warehouse.
We fondly refer to this as our global headquarters here in Crowley, Texas. We've lived here in the Burleson, south of Fort Worth, for some 38 years now. And so this is home for us, just here in Crowley, Texas. Yep.
Awesome. So, Mr. Watson, I just want to get a little bit of your backstory, how you got into the boot making business, and talk a little bit about the career you've had there.
Yeah, 1980, urban cowboy. I was in Houston, Texas. I was a frustrated baseball player. It ended. It was my senior year at University of Houston, and I went to work in a Western store. College was, over, and we were literally 4 or 5 miles from Gillies. So Houston, Texas was alive and well with Urban Cowboy, and I really enjoyed retail at the time. I didn't think I'd be there long, so I had really a lot of fun with it. From that retail experience, I became a store manager. I went to the Dallas market back in the early 80s, and I was hired. I was approached by some people in the boot business to get on the wholesale side. So in my career, I've spent several years with Lucchese from the mid-'80s to the early '90s. I went to Justin Brands in '93, which was Justin, Tony Lama, Nakona, Chippewa. I was with Justin for 23 years as CEO. So I've been in Justin factories, Tony Lama factories, Lucchese factories. I've been in factories around the world. I've seen the best of the best boot makers. I've seen what you do and what you don't do. And we're really, really creating a boot that is symbolic of what we did in the late 70s and 80s. And the genuine article, cowhide linings, leather outsoles, leather heels, 10-row stitch patterns, using better materials. And we really want people to have a real cowboy boot, the way we used to make them. And we have heard time and time again that I've never had a new boot feel this good. And it's something we're really proud of. And as we say, we put our name on them. We put our name on the box, and it's something I don't take lightly, and we're just trying to do the best we can to make a quality product at a good value.
Awesome. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is the upcoming Women in Rodeo Month and the fact that R. Watson is the title sponsor for that. I know that supporting women in rodeo is something that's a huge deal for you. So, and this is something that goes all the way back to how you make your boots and how you create your lines of boots. So let's talk about where that inspiration came from and kind of why you make boots the way you do.
Yeah, and again, it all goes back to wanting to make a quality product at an affordable price. We hope to be building, whether it's men's or women's, we want it to be like a family heirloom. I just remember the days when I got my granddad's boots or I got my dad's boots. And these are those types of products. And we didn't want to leave the women out. Our industry in the footwear side is a lot of companies take a men's boot and make it in a lady's size. We really paid attention to colors and leathers and stitch patterns. And, we do all over pythons to suedes. Exotics, ostrich with an ostrich top, 10-row stitch patterns. Just the attention to details, really something we're proud of. And the fit, again, we want women to have the perfect fit, the best leathers, that leather outsoles, leather heels, things that our women's business isn't an afterthought, if you know what I mean. And people have recognized that our retail customers, we're their better women's boot choice. And very rewarding to try to create something that you want women to have, and then for them to accept it and like it, and it's been very rewarding.
And I know that you got some great endorsees on your team. You got like Larry D. Guy and Hope Thompson. And I know something that we've talked about before is you had this question when you were really getting into your advertising with rodeo of why is Breakaway not at the NFR? Yeah. What is going on with women's breakaway roping? So just talk about some of those issues and what really got you interested in the movement of the breakaway ropers.
Well, the professional sport of rodeo needs to be all-inclusive. I mean, it just women, they shop. They buy the majority of clothing. They'll buy for their husbands. They'll buy for their children, and
those boys don't dress themselves.
No. I know. Your wife will lay your clothes out for you so you match. And anyway, seriously, whether it's women in the arena or women at the retail level, we just want to be all inclusive, and we want them to have a quality experience, whether it's in the arena or in the stores. And I'm old enough to remember when barrel racing wasn't equal money. It's incredible to me. You see what's happening in other professional sports. Most recently the PGA Tour, and how things change and evolve. And I think professional rodeo needs to treat breakaway roping the same way they allowed barrel race. It ought to be at NFR. I believe that. I wish I knew the more about the history of how they were able to achieve that, and maybe we need to retrace those steps on how did barrel racing get equal money, and then when did they get, they've been at the NFR since the late 60s, as we talked about, but the equal money didn't happen for some 30 years later. And I guess we've got to get women in the NFR and then work on the equal money as well.
So when you're looking at this from your perspective, you're on the business side of things. Are there advantages to women being treated equally in the sport? I mean, we know from a competition standpoint, us breakaway ropers want this, but can you maybe touch on some of those things that could be positives for sponsors or for different companies getting involved with breakaway?
I think it adds an entire another element to the sport. It should attract new sponsors. It should attract new eyes, new ticket sales. I know through whether it's Texas FFA, I was a big supporter of Texas FFA. Grandma helps with the animals. Mom and dad help with the animals. And those sponsors, whether it's FFA or Breakaway Roping, it brings the whole family together with ladies, girls, young kids. To exclude the majority of the population from a professional sport is when those ladies could bring sponsors to the table. They would have more people in the store shopping for those products that they wear. They're key influencers. There's people that want to emulate those people, and to exclude them for whatever archaic reason. It's something we really need to think through. Yeah.
And then I know that you're pretty involved with the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. Yeah. Obviously, great rodeo to have local.
Yes.
I really want to talk about what you guys have seen, again, from a business standpoint at those rodeos, how people are interacting with you guys, our sales going up because of what we call the Yellowstone effect. Kind of how, if you're seeing people being really enthusiastic about the sport.
Absolutely. I was blessed being from the Justin side of the business at one time. We were heavily involved with Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, and I'm on the executive committee, and we sponsor the tie-down roping there, and we also have a retail partner there that has our Watson booth space. So it's a big time for us, and we have seen even during COVID, there were a lot of these larger manufacturers throughout the industry, whether it was trucks to saddles to hats to boots to whatever, apparel, that really had a tough time delivering due to supply chain disruptions. And I guess we were blessed because in our life cycle, we were just starting. So our factory was in Mexico and Leon, the kind of the leather capital of the world. And they were not as affected as some of these Asian companies or in the Far East. So a lot of those people that had total disruption, we were trying to grow a business smartly. We had 20 retailers, and then we had 100 retailers, then we had 200 retailers, or we had one sales rep, and we went to 2 to 5. And so we grew in a market that had high demand, but we wanted to make sure we maintained the quality and the integrity of the boots and the product. So we were actually growing methodically and slowly to make sure we maintained the quality standards we needed. But ever since COVID, we've had steady growth, and it's fun to watch. It's a proud moment. It's kind of watching your child grow up, and it's been very rewarding that, the contestants are supporting us, the retailers are supporting us, the factories supporting us, the leather suppliers are supporting us, and it's just been. Again, I joke at my age, I know a lot of people. So the entire food chain, so to speak, from leather all the way to the consumer is really, really embraced what we're doing, how we're doing it, putting people before profits, which is kind of a novel concept in business today. It's fun. We're having a good time. My family's involved. Have a lot of we added it up the other day, some 250 years of experience in the office. And for a 4-year-old company with 300 years of experience in the Western industry, we just have a lot of really great people gravitated to us inside the office. So we're blessed, we're very fortunate.
Yes, sir. I love that. It's kind of that people over profit motto carries right into the office. You've got, it seems like a great crew here.
Yeah, they all from 40 to 20 years experience, in the Western industry, and we're benefiting from their knowledge. And, it's not every day someone in customer service comes to work for a company on the phone, and they've already been doing it 25 years, so we're having a good time. It's a quality product. People are accepting it. And we just want to know how we can help and give back to the Western lifestyle and the industry. And we really believe that pushing women into, the NFR and pro sports and equal money and all those things are, it's not only necessary, it's just the right thing to do. Yeah. So
that's it right there. I love that. You said it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is. It's simple.
So I've got to ask, being on the committee at Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, I'm imagining you were there for their decision to put equal added money at FWSSR. So can you talk about how that conversation came up?
That was above my pay grade, but it's definitely something that we were all very, very proud of. I believe, if I don't want to misspeak, but I think we were the first ones to do it.
They're right up there. Yeah.
Don't hold me to that, but I believe Fort Worth was first in equal money. And the Fort Worth Stock Show is we're a lot like the Fort Worth, and they're a lot like us. And the history and the heritage and doing what's right. I mean, the Fort Worth Stock Show with Mr. Justin and now, Brad Barnes and people like that, all the city fathers of Fort Worth that really just maintain the history and heritage of Cowtown, and the Fort Worth Stock Show, it's a huge stock show and a rodeo. And, what we've done with Dickey's Arena and, the new barns and, just constant improvement, but it's like our product. We're making constant improvements, but we maintain the history and heritage and doing what's right. And, Fort Worth I hope I answered your question, but it's something they're very, very proud of being the first to do.
No, I think that's absolutely awesome. Well, Mr. Watson, is there anything else that you want to make sure that people know about your company, or anything else that you want to make sure people know about on why you guys chose to get involved with Women in Rodeo? I mean, I know that we're both pumped up for that month.
Yeah.
Everything that's ahead. We've got some incredible stuff lined out. We're really excited to tell your story and everything, but I want to make sure you have the chance to say your part today, Mr. Watson.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. And it's all I've done in my life. I have my children are going to be involved in the business. We've got a lot of old boot industry people in our office. We're going to continue to make a quality product that there's not a better fit out there. We hear time and time again that I've never had a new boot feel this way on my foot. And it's something we spent about 18 months working on. And I would hope whether you buy our product or not, you at least try it on. And I think when you look at it, you'll see the attention to detail, the better leathers, the 10-row stitch patterns, the colors, vibrant colors. And we're just proud of the product. And we think it's knowing what goes into it and the time we've spent designing it, that we feel like it's the best value. It's the highest quality, best value boot on the market. And it's something we're proud of. And if they just give us a shot, our family would appreciate it.
Awesome. So this is going to come out a few months before Women in Rodeo Month, but we just wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to meet the man behind the program. They've stepped out in a big way to support us this September. So just know when you see our hashtag Women in Rodeo Month content that Mr. Watson and our Watson Boots are the folks bringing that to you guys.
Thank you. It's a privilege. Glad to help.
And thank you so much, Mr. Watson.
Thanks.
Okay, you guys, so you've heard from Randy Watson. He's the man behind our Watson Boots, and you've got to hear why he is excited to be involved with Women in Rodeo Month and how he got to where he is today. So real quick, let's talk about the other folks who are also fully behind Women in Rodeo for the month of September, and that is, first off, the folks at Straight Arrow, who is the company behind Mane and Tail and their whole line of products. I mean, let's be for real, guys. If you've rodeoed, there's a very high chance you've maybe accidentally or on purpose used your horse's mane and tail shampoo and conditioner at some point. Don't tell my mother, she's a hairdresser, but I maybe have too. And then we also have the folks at Resistol coming on board. And as you guys know, they live it every day. They are huge supporters of women in the industry, have been for some time, and we've worked with Resistol a ton. We are so excited to have them coming on board for Women in Rodeo Month this September also. So now let's talk about the fun stuff. What can you guys expect throughout Women in Rodeo Month? As I said before, it is a huge collaboration between a lot of different brands. There's going to be some mini documentaries coming your way. There's going to be some fire footage on TikTok and Reels, if we do say so ourselves. And we're going to be talking about, of course, the absolute baddies of the present. We're going to be giving you guys some historical knowledge, of course, and then you can expect to see a lot of numbers coming your way. So not just fun videos, not just, feel good. We're not just putting Unstoppable by Sia over everything. We are going to be giving you guys those cold, hard facts about what women have done to build this sport and this industry as we know it today. We're going to be talking a lot to the USTRC and the World Series of Team Roping to talk about how they've incorporated women into their ropings and what they've done to help women bust down barriers and make a living with a rope. So we're going to talk to key players from the WPRA as well, the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. They are on board with this. Look for some exclusive interviews, and they've been providing us with a ton of numbers and statistics to help us get ready. We're going to be covering rodeo as you know it from every angle. You guys, our team members have been bringing projects to the table that are like off the wall. And we're like, this is exciting. Can we talk about it? So our team is having just as much fun getting this content ready for you as you guys are going to have reading it. You're going to see profiles from some serious icons in the game. And there may even be a country music star coming on the Breakaway Breakdown, whose name I am not allowed to drop yet, but I'm so excited for what's ahead, you guys. Just across the board, if you can't tell, I think this is the most I've talked to you guys one-on-one in an episode so far. So if you're a podcast person, definitely make sure that you are tuning into the Score and the Money Barrel, as well as the Breakaway Breakdown, all September long, because there's going to be some exclusive guests scattered across the platforms. Make sure you're checking out roping.com's pages. Make sure you're checking out Ride TV's pages, because they've got barrelracing.com content, and Horse and Rider is also going to jump in with a little bit of content there too. We've also got some super exciting developments coming up across our brands that I cannot wait to share with you guys. And I know, I feel like I am teasing you guys way too much with this episode and telling you all these things that I can't quite tell you yet, but I promise it will be worth the wait. So make sure you guys are checking out our What's in Boots. Make sure you maybe check out Mane and Tail's newest products when you go to the feed store next time, and maybe give Resistol a nod on your way to September, because these brands have gotten behind Women in Rodeo Month like you cannot believe. We'll be back with more exciting guests for you guys to hear from. And yes, we will still be bringing you the athletes that you know and love as we cover pro rodeos, futurities, and jackpots all month long. So get ready for some exciting interviews we have coming out from the Royal Crown, from the Pro Rodeo Trail, and a few other things that are coming your way. I hope wherever you guys are at, you are having fun and kicking butt. And if you have stayed this long to listen to me talk, thank you, and have a great rest of your week.